Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Teddy, aka Teddy Bear XD. Today we're going to be going over some Jungle Cup battles, but I'm going to be putting emphasis on a concept known as storing energy. You can also refer to that as farming. They are a little different, so storing energy is simply not using a charge move, just using fast moves, so you can store up on energy for your charged moves. And farming is a concept you'll hear me talk about as well, where you're in a matchup where you don't need to throw any charge moves at the opponent to beat it. Also, it's nice not having to block any of their charge moves, but that's not necessarily in the definition of farming. So you'll hear me use that a little bit, as well as storing energy. So we're going to go over some examples of those situations where you don't need to throw any charge moves, and sometimes you don't need to block either. So you'll see in the video my Alolan Golem versus his Noctowl. That's a situation where I don't need to throw any charge moves because my fast move does a lot of damage to it, and I don't need to block either. And another example would be Venomoth versus his Venusaur. Venomoth will do a lot of damage with confusion, and again will not need to block any moves. And as well as Forretress versus Venusaur. Both Forretress and Venomoth don't need to throw charge moves for the most part, and don't really need to block either. So we'll go ahead and get right into the video. We're starting off here with Venomoth versus his Noctowl. That's a bad matchup, so I'm gonna switch out right away as soon as I can. And I go ahead and switch into Vigoroth. Start hitting him with counters. And throw a Body Slam. He does decide to block and switches right away into his own Vigoroth, which is fine. I have a little more energy saved up than he does. He does not decide to block. So here's one small example of storing energy. I know I can finish it with just my fast moves, and I don't need to throw that Body Slam, even though I could have before it fainted. That way I have a Body Slam ready for the next thing that comes in. It's just much more efficient. You can burn another shield, just like I did there. And now I'm pretty sure I can get to another Body Slam, so I'm going to go ahead and shield that. And I am able to get to another Body Slam. It's pretty close, but I got there. Doing a lot of damage to him, and he finishes me off with fast moves. So now I bring in Forretress. This isn't a terrible matchup. It does take a good amount of damage from Sky Attack, but he decides to switch out right there at the last moment. I'm just looking to get to this Earthquake to do a lot of damage since he has no shields. And it does so much damage. Look at that. Holy cow. And he brings in Noctowl. He is able to get a charge move off before I feint him, but Venomoth is at full HP here. If he had a charge move ready there, maybe he would have been able to feint me, but me burning that shield with the Body Slam with Vigoroth early on helped me hit that Earthquake, because otherwise he would have shielded that and then been able to beat me. So next match I lead Venomoth, he leads Vigoroth. Very good matchup for me. Really kind of another matchup I don't need to worry too much. I'm not going to take any damage from counter. So he gets out right away. Brings in Noctowl, and I bring in Golem. So here's one of the matchups I was talking about, where I don't need to block and I don't need to throw charge moves. By the time he gets to his first Sky Attack, I already have him at half HP, and it does no damage. He is able to get the second charge move off, but again, I don't need to block it. And he barely gets me to half HP before going down. So I have a lot of energy stored up here. He brings in Vigoroth. I did make a mistake here. I didn't think that would KO me, and I should have thrown a move right when something came out anyway, but the concept of storing energy is still there. I just failed to execute. So he switches out his Vigoroth. I switch into Vigoroth versus Lantern. He gets the charge move off, and I'm definitely going to block. So here I go for a shield bait. I build up enough energy to get to Bulldoze, and I go for a body slam. And he does block. And here, I probably should have just gone for body slam, but I do go for Bulldoze. He doesn't block. I'm not sure if body slam would have KO'd there or not, but I finish it off. And here, I know I can just finish it with counter. So I go ahead and block the move. He probably could have beat me if he had done 2 body slams. At least beat the Vigoroth with 2 body slams, but we take the win. And jumping right into the next one, I lead Golem versus his Noctowl. So we've seen how this goes. He's gonna switch right away because he knows how bad it is. Right into Venusaur, and I bring out Venomoth. So this is another one of the matchups that I was talking about. I don't need to block, and I don't need to throw any charge moves. Confusion's doing a lot to him since it's poison type. And we annihilate it. So I've got energy saved up here. I can throw on the next Pokemon. I go ahead and throw a Silver Wind. And he does decide to block. So he's trying to do the same thing to me, farming up energy. But I'm able to get another charge move off. He doesn't block smartly and is able to finish me off. So I know he's got a decent amount of energy built up here. I know it doesn't matter versus Golem, so I just bring in Golem. He hits me with 1 Sky Attack and switches out to Vigoroth. And I switch to my own Vigoroth. A little late on that switch. I should have switched a little faster, but... So he's built up quite a bit of energy. He got in before I did. And I'm pretty sure I can use both shields and just finish him off with counter here. So I burn both. And I do finish him off with counter. So I got a lot of energy here. I throw body slam. And I got another body slam already ready. So once you built up enough energy to go for Bulldoze, if you're running Bulldoze and body slam, then you've got enough energy for 2 body slams. So jumping right into the last matchup here, I'm leading Lantern and he's leading Fortress. A pretty good matchup for me. I just need to be a little wary of Earthquake, and he does decide to switch out into Venusaur. And here's another matchup that I was talking about earlier where I don't need to block or throw charge moves. Fortress does extremely well against grass types. And you probably experienced this a little bit in the last cup, as both these Pokemon are pretty prevalent there as well. We get a little bit of lag, unfortunately, and he does get to another charge move. I don't block, and I'm getting fairly low here. So I get a little scared he's going to get to another one, and I really don't want to burn a shield, so I throw a heavy slam. But I still have a pretty good amount of energy left. And since I've farmed so much energy, he's really not sure of how much I have right now. So he does decide to block my heavy slam, which he shouldn't have if he had known it was heavy slam, but I had built up so much he wasn't really sure. So I bring in Megadium versus Lantern. He switches right away to Fortress, and I switch to Lantern. And the only thing I need to be cautious of is Earthquake. I blocked that. I didn't really want to take a chance it was Earthquake, so I blocked it. Build up enough energy to get to Hydro Pump and throw a Thunderbolt, which he does not block. He's trying to get to Earthquake here, I think, and I just barely feint him before he gets there. So he brings in his own Lantern, really just throwing Thunderbolts here at each other is all that's going to happen. It'll do neutral damage. So he blocks mine, I block his. And I'm able to get to another one before he does. And he needs to throw a charge move to kill me. And so I don't take that chance. I switch right into Meganium, and I've got energy saved. And I just throw a Frenzy Plant. And we take that game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I tried to spotlight a specific thing you can do to improve your PvP game. Try it out in some of your battles. Try to save energy where you can. It'll really help you burn more shields or do more damage. It's very important to learn that if you want to get better at PvP. So if you learned something or you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know down in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply to your comments and discuss things with you if you want. So I will see you guys later.